Now, I have gone over all this with the Vice President. I've told him that I don't have any voice over what he says or does, that he ought to take the position that he believes in. And if for some reason he doesn't believe in what we have done or what we're doing, or as a candidate he needs to change his position, he ought to feel at liberty, so far as I'm concerned, to do so. He ought to just take a position that this I believe, and then stay with it. I told him, however, that he must not confuse Hanoi, our allies, both of whom are watching every move we make, with the feeling that he was speaking for anyone other than himself as a candidate and not as an administration spokesman. Now, the facts are, Dick, that we are anticipating an attack any time. We're trying to abort it. We consider it to be a most serious one. The North Vietnamese efforts to expand their military capabilities continue unabated. All the indicators of the movements are at very high levels, and the watercraft activity has reached a record level. We met on it most of today, and more than 1,200 watercraft were sighted south of the 19th parallel, and that is more than 4 times the weekly average since my speech of March 31st. The truck sightings were 25% above the weekly average since March the 31st. And the pilots' reports on trucks destroyed are 40% above the average. Now, I just could not, for a political reason, say to those men, and certainly some of my own sons, that I'm abandoning you in this hour because I've got a convention coming.
That satisfies me, Mr. President.
And General Eisenhower said today to the Republicans that you must not do that. That's murder, but that would be mass murder by a commander-in-chief. And I'm shocked that the Vice President considered it for a moment. He told me it was pure politics, and that caused me to think a good deal less of him, because I just think a man that plays with human lives because of political things, it's just too dangerous. And he said, well, he just frankly had to shimmy. Well, I don't think he's ever going to get McCarthy. And I don't think that when Nixon is nominated, that we'll be confronted with as much pressure as he has now when they look at Nixon and Humphrey. But if he never carried a state, it would be terrible for me to say to Chuck Robb tonight, who has had killings every day for 90 days. His company is less than half strength. That I'm going to pull the air cover off of you, and tomorrow, instead of facing 70 trucks, you'll face an extra 30. General Wheeler talked to me late into the night about it, and he was shocked at the Vice President's proposal. And I'm afraid these professors are just getting him off. Now, we have agreed with the Soviet Union that if they would give us assurance that this traffic would not be increased and speeded up, and they would not take advantage of our men, that we would be glad to let them underwrite it. We've also said to Hanoi that if you will close your infiltration and not accelerate it, that we will be glad to do it. But in neither, they want something for nothing, and that I will not give them.
I don't blame you, Mr. President. I'm completely satisfied about this. I just was thinking about the possibility of a substitute to saturation bombing of the northern part of South Vietnam, if that would close them off. But if it's not militarily possible, and you've got these men's lives on your conscience, sir, I'm completely satisfied, and I withdraw the suggestion.
God bless you, Dick.
I'm just worried about the outcome of that. Unless this man gets a new look, something here. Now, for instance, these people are just literally raising hell up here. They're strange-looking people. They're young people. Some of them have got beards on. They're intellectuals. They're the people that we just can't carry this state unless there's some new twist.
Now, Dick, the way I see this government is in great danger, as the world is in great danger. I believe the communist international conspiracy is at work every hour. The Soviet Union, Kosygin wrote me 2 or 3 weeks ago and demanded that we stop the bombing in return for nothing. We wrote him back and told him we'd be glad to stop the bombing if he would give us assurance it wouldn't wipe out our men. But no commander-in-chief could take the gun away from his men while other folks assaulted him.
You're right.
Then he went to India and he put the same pressure on. Then he came to our 2 networks in this country and they started putting the pressure on. Then he got the 2 or 3 spokesmen in the Senate, like McCarthy and this damn little Stephen Young, who has speeches every day on the subject. Then he got Javits and Mr. Javits and Mr. Morton and Mr. Hatfield, and they made speeches. Then the next thing I knew, the professors came in and got it in the vice president's speech. Then the next thing I knew, they started going to the civilians in the State Department. And all this load has come on me a matter of hours before a deadly struggle. And what they're asking me to do is to be the biggest boob of our time. Just as the communists get ready to hit us, they want me to do what I did at Tet. Take a vacation, let our men accept a Tet holiday, and as I do it and call off our bombing, let them hit me full length. And I just don't see it, and Rusk doesn't see it. He covered it full in his press conference today. And although God, I want to be a hero, and I want to get the war over, and I've got 2 boys in it, and both of them in combat every day, and one of them has lost over half of his men. I just can't do any more than I'm doing that I know of.
Mr. President, number 1, I'm satisfied. Number 2, I withdraw the letter. Number 2, God bless you. You stay with us.
Goodbye.